Hello everyone, I am Ankush Shedimar and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to cover Essay 300 in a very detailed and crisp way from your new concept book. In this particular concept book, we have covered all the tricky questions as an example in the concept book itself, and also we are going to cover some questions from the question bank. All the highlights of the new concept book are covered in a detailed video which you can watch after changing the language to English. Next sir, we are going to also mark you some important topics in the Essay 300 during our revision video, so do ensure that you watch the video till last. Next, we are going to cover this topic from our handwritten notes, which are much more detailed and which much more colors than the previous handwritten notes, so that I can tell you all the memory techniques, all the flow charts, all the keywords memorization learnings and everything from the handwritten notes. And this handwritten notes PDF can be found on our Telegram channel. Telegram channel link can be found on our pin comment and description. Do ensure you join the Telegram channel because you can find the PDF, and we are also going to ask you an MCQ from this particular topic on the Telegram channel itself. And also we are going to ask one more different type of an MCQ at the end of the video, so do ensure that you watch the video till last so that you can answer this particular MCQ, and you can get to know whether you have understood Essay 300 correctly or not. Okay, yes sir, do like the video to mark your attendance. The like target is 100 likes. I'm very sure that you will definitely help us achieve the like target. Comment down CA with your name so that you make a manifestation that you are definitely going to clear your CA exams. And sir, on this YouTube channel we have already posted all the essays revision video previous to this, and we are going to post more revision videos and more resources for CA final audit in English language. So do ensure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Whenever you think that there is particular topic that is difficult to you, then you should pause this video and watch and study it yourself, because more than revision videos, self-study is very much important. And lastly, if you have any query, any question in this particular topic, you can ask in the comment itself. I will reply to that in the comment itself so that all the students can get their queries resolved. Okay, yes sir, without much ado, let's begin with our Essay 300. Essay 300 talks about what sir? It talks about planning the audit of financial statements. Why this essay was framed by essay? Obviously to help us plan the audit in a better way so that we are able to do audit in a better way and make a good appropriate audit report. Okay, yes sir. Now in this particular Essay 300, we are going to discuss three particular keywords in detail, that is audit strategy, audit plan and audit program. Now what are these? Let me just give you a brief overview. Audit strategy we have already discussed in Essay 299. That audit strategy talks about three things: STD, not PCO STD. It talks about scope, timing and direction. What is scope, timing and direction? Let me give you an example of our studies. So whenever you are studying, the scope is basically what are the books that you will be using, what will be the material, what will be the subjects that are covered in your syllabus. Next, in terms of timing, what is the timing of your revision, like till what time you will complete your first revision, till what date you will complete your second revision. Next is your direction. What is your direction, which means how many revisions that you are planning, what are the books that you are referring, whether you will be focusing more on RTP, MTP or the ICA module questions, something like that. In terms of planning, we have three keywords, that is NTE, that is nature, timing and extent of audit procedures is what constitutes audit plan. Now here in terms of studies, how we can understand it in terms of nature, whether we will be doing more self-study, more revision videos, how many revisions that we will be doing, everything is covered in terms of nature of doing the study. Timing means what sir? Daily, how much you will be studying, what time you will be doing what is your daily routine plan. And in terms of extent, how many hours that you are going to study each day, that is the extent of your audit plan. Okay, yes sir. In terms of programs, sir, program is a list of verification procedure, list of audit procedures that is to be done by each individual member of the team. Okay, yes sir, that will study in detail. Now let's first discuss the first topic that can be asked by ICI is why planning is important, what are the benefits of planning or what are the advantages of planning. First of all sir, it helps in audit, it helps identify the potential problems so that we can timely resolve those problems. Suppose if there is a fraud, there is an increased room, then we can timely resolve that. Next, it helps us in keeping appropriate attention to important areas. The important areas like revenue recognition, we can give more attention when we have planned to give more time to that particular area. It helps us in organization and management of audit. We are able to organize and manage the audit very effectively. It also helps us in selection of the engagement team based on the audit. Next, it also helps us in direction and supervising the engagement team, giving direction to the engagement team how they have to work and supervising their work. And lastly, if we have used any component auditors, suppose subsidiary, joint ventures, associates have their own joint auditors, or we have also, maybe you can see we have used experts for any of our services, any of the any of the audit procedures, then coordinating the work between them. Planning helps us in doing everything. Now how we can remember this particular keyword sir? First of all, in terms of potential problems sir, whenever we are studying the potential weak subject, we are able to devote more time to weak subjects. So that's the purpose of our planning, so that we are able to divide more time to the weak subject and we are able to at least clear in that weak subject. Next, in terms of audit specifically, what does planning help in? Planning helps in management of the audit. Now in terms terms of management, what do we manage, sir? We manage specifically people. So we should have a team for managing that, and for having the team, we should first of all select the team, then we need to direct and supervise the team, and whatever work is done by the team, we need to coordinate that. Okay, yes sir. Now here, does the EP only do any only planning? No sir, not only the EP is involved in planning. EP plus other team members are involved in planning, so that the planning is effective and efficient. Which means what, sir? EP should involve other team members in planning to increase the effectiveness and efficiency of planning audit. Okay, yes sir. Now planning just happens at the start of the audit? No sir, planning is a continuous process. Which means what? It is not a discrete phase. Is it a continual and iterative process? Not a discrete phase means what? It is not a separate phase. It is a continual and iterative, which means what's a never ending process. All the keywords, all the technical words which we can't use in, like which we don't generally use in by speaking English, all the keywords we have mentioned simpler meaning in your concept book itself. Okay, yes sir. So here they are saying that it is a continuous process. Just like in studying, when we plan for whole day, and then we plan for whole month, and then every day we have to plan. Just like this, audit also planning works. It says that while planning, you need to consider below matters, and this is prior to the assessment of risk of material misstatement. So ROMAM assessment is happening afterwards the planning. So planning happens before your ROMAM assessment. Okay, yes sir. Now what things we consider in planning, sir? What we obtain a general understanding of the legal framework of the entity. We do risk assessment procedure. We identify what will be the analytical procedure that will be performed as risk assessment procedure. What will be the other procedure that will be performed as risk assessment procedure. We determine the materiality as per SA 320. We determine materiality. We will study in SA 320. Then we see whether we need to involve the experts or not. Whether if I am finding anything very complicated which is not known by me, I don't have any knowledge, so I may need to involve experts for that particular thing as well. Suppose I am auditing insurance company, then maybe for premium calculation and everything, I don't know about this, then I will have to hire an expert. So I will have to see whether we need to involve the experts or not. So how we will understand these 5 points, sir? How we will learn these 5 points? First of all, while planning, what we have to do, sir? We have to obtain understanding of the entity, and whenever we are obtaining understanding, it is called risk assessment procedure. So we have to identify what are the analytical procedure and other procedure to be performed as risk assessment procedure. After performing risk assessment procedure, we have to determine materiality, and if it is more material, then we can involve experts as well. Okay, yes sir. The MCQ that was asked by ICI was the materiality was determined after the assessment of ROMAM. It is correct? No, it is not correct, because in the planning we have discussed that prior to the assessment of ROMAM we have to determine materiality. Okay, yes sir, this was asked by ICI in MCQ. Next, there might be one topic that you might see, that what are the additional matters in initial audit engagement while planning. That is not included in your ICI module, so that is not relevant for you. We are here to minimize our efforts and maximize our marks. That is what my priority is, so you can definitely skip this particular topic. What it is, sir? SA 300. Let's do under revision. Under revision, we are talking about SA 300, planning and audit of financial statements. So first of all, we are talking about the benefits or advantages of planning. So what is the benefits of the weakest subjects? I can devote appropriate attention. So potential problems, we can devote our attention to important areas. Next, it helps in management of audit. Management is of people, so it helps in selection of the engagement team, direction and supervision of the engagement team, and then the easy coordination of the work done by them. Now EP and the other members of the team shall be involved in planning, so that we can increase the effectiveness and efficiency of planning. Now this is an important topic. Planning is a continuous process. It is not a discrete or separate phase of audit, but it is a continual and iterative, never-ending process, and it happens prior to the auditor's identification and assessment of risk of material misstatement. What do we need to consider first, sir? First of all, we need to obtain general understanding. Understanding means we need to perform risk assessment procedure, alternative procedures and other procedures, analytical procedure and other procedure, and after that we need to determine materiality, and if it is more material, then we need to involve experts as well. Okay, yes sir. Next is your PIA. PIA is what? Basically your preliminary engagement activities. This we have already discussed in your SA 299 previous revision video, in which we discussed that preliminary engagement activities are basically those activities which we conduct before starting an engagement, which includes two essays, that is SA 210 and SA 220. 210 means what? We are understanding the terms of the engagement, and in 220 specifically 2 points. 1 point is your acceptance and continuance of client relationship, and other points is your ethical requirements compliance. Okay, yes sir, these three things are included in your preliminary engagement activities. Okay, yes sir. Next, what is the content of audit plan? What are the things included in audit plan? Audit plan includes three things: nature, timing, and extent of procedures. What procedures, sir? Planned risk assessment procedure, planned further audit procedure 315, 330, and other procedures that we have to perform as per other essays. So all these procedures, NT is already included in your audit plan at the time of planning the engagement. Okay, yes sir. Now this nature of planning vary due to different circumstances. So nature of planning changes to different organization. We cannot use the same plan for each of the organization. Why, sir? Because there is a size and complexity of the entity entity. If there is an increase in size, then we need to increase the planning. Next, in terms of past experience, previous audit experience also helps in planning the engagement. And in terms of changing circumstances, if we need to change the planning as well. So here, nature of planning vary according to 3 stages. What are the 3 reasons because of which the planning changes vary in different businesses, sir? First of all, how we can remember this? We can see the size and complexity of the entity based on past experience, and past experience is not relevant because there is change in circumstances. Okay, yes sir, let's discuss it from the concept book. We are talking about first of all PIA. PIA means 210 and 220. 210 understanding the terms of engagement, and in 220 acceptance and continuance of client relationship and ethical requirements. And in terms of contents of audit plan, this is important. What is included, sir? NTE of planned rep, SA 315, planned FAP 330, and other planned procedures. Now in an MCQ or in a question, the ICA asked, while we were planning the audit engagement, we didn't determine the sample size that we need to take, and we thought that after performing RAP, I will determine the sample size. Is it correct, sir? No, it is not correct. Why it is not correct, sir? Because in the plan itself, you have to write the NTE of FAP. Now, NTE of FAP means what? The extent of further audit procedure is also to be written, and extent means what? Sample size. So sample size is to be decided at the planning stage itself. Okay, yes sir. Next, nature of planning according to what, sir? Nature of planning vary according to what? First of all, size and complexity of the entity. If it is much, then we need to perform more planning. Next, past experience and expertise, and that past experience and expertise is not relevant because there is change in circumstances. Okay, yes sir. Next is overall audit strategy, which is important for you. Overall audit strategy means what, sir? Audit strategy, as we have discussed, 3 keywords: scope, timing and direction, STD of audit. And based on overall audit strategy, we develop the audit plan, which means what? First strategy is developed, then plan is developed. Okay, yes sir. Next, what are the factors for development of overall audit strategy? These factors are the similar factors that we have discussed for planning and strategizing the joint audit in your SA 299. So two questions we have already done in your SA 299. What is the factor, sir? The STD-PIA. STD-PIA we have discussed there. First of all, it's scope. Scope means what, sir? The characteristics of the audit. What are the characteristics of the audit? We have to determine that. What are the things that are covered under our scope? T for timing, which means what is the reporting objective of the engagement. D for directing the engagement team efforts. What are the factors that we need to consider while directing the engagement team efforts? For example, in terms of RUMM, if there is higher RUMM, then we need to direct our team's efforts more in that particular case. Fourth is your PIA. PIA is your preliminary engagement activities. We need to consider the results of preliminary engagement activities, SA 210 and 220. And after this, what we will get to know, sir, by doing all these 4 things, we will get to know what is the NTE of procedures. And this NTE of procedures is your benefit of audit strategy as well. We will discuss it. Don't worry about it. So let's discuss one by one these 4 points and this 5th point later. So for the first point is characteristics of audit. So what we have to identify in the characteristics of audit, sir, we have to identify what is the scope of audit and what are the laws that are covered under the scope of audit. In terms of scope, we have to identify what is the audit coverage, like what are the components that I have to audit and what are the components the other auditors will audit. Next, after audit coverage, we should identify whether the data is available for covering that audit coverage. If the data is not available, whether the previous evidence from the previous audit can be used in current year or not, we have to identify. Suppose there was a fraud and I obtained an evidence, so can that evidence be used in current year to identify any other fraud that might happen in the organization? That I have to see. So this is the scope. Next, in terms of law, what are the laws that are in my scope? What is the industry specific reporting requirement? Is there any? Suppose I'm auditing bank, that there is obviously an industry specific reporting requirement. What is as per the industry? What is the AFRF? If it is an MPO, then income and expenditure. If it is a profit oriented entity, then a profit and loss account. So I will have to see that. So these are the identifying the characteristics of the engagement. Okay, yes sir. Next is your reporting objective. Reporting objective means what, sir? The basic timeline for reporting. Now this timeline for reporting will be created by me? No sir, there will be discussion between the management and me, then we will create the timeline. So we will need to organize the meetings with the management to discuss the NTE of audit. Now in the meeting, what we have to discuss with the management, we have to discuss the type and timing of the report. We have to discuss the communications on the status of audit, like what is the current status of audit and how I will be giving you the status of audit. And lastly, we have to also hold discussions among the engagement team members. Obviously the engagement team members should also hold discussions among themselves, otherwise there will be no coordination. Okay, yes sir, these are the 5 points and you can remember in the structure that I have told you. Next, this was the second point. The third point is obviously the factors, and that are not given in your ICA module. Last is your preliminary engagement activities. Now, results of preliminary engagement activities we have to consider, which means what? Results of previous audit, if there were deficiencies in the previous audit, and what are the actions that were taken in the for those deficiencies we have to consider. From the previous audit, we have to see what all the changes are done in the current year. What are the industry developments? Suppose there is any new requirement. What is the changes in FRF? Suppose the entity has turned from AS to Ind AS. What is the other significant development? Suppose there is an any changes in law and regulation. So we have to consider this while developing our audit strategy, previous audit and the changes in the current year, these three. Okay, yes sir. Next is your fifth point, that is NTE of resources, and in this NTE of resources is your benefit of strategy. If the ICA asks you what is the benefit of developing audit strategy, it is NTE and management of resources. As an auditor, I get to know about the nature, timing and extent and management of resources I have to do. So first of all, in terms of nature means what sir? The employment of qualitative resources. What resources will be required in this particular engagement? Timing means what? When these resources need to be deployed, year end or during the year. E means what? Extent or allocation of the quantity of resources for the particular area. What, how many articles, how many managers, how many seniors I need to devote for this particular area, I need to understand, I will get to know about from the audit strategy. And lastly, management of resources, how we need to manage, direct and supervise these resources, that is covered over here. So all these things I will get to know once I develop my audit strategy, and this was your overall base of your audit strategy, and this is very important. Audit strategy sets STD. STD is basically your scope, timing and direction of audit, and it also guides the development of audit plan. Now what are the factors while establishing audit strategy? First is your scope, that is determining the characteristics of audit, which means what? Scope and the laws in scope. In terms of scope, what is the audit coverage? For that audit coverage, whether the information is available and the evidences that can be used from the previous audit. In terms of law, we have to see the industry specific reporting requirement and what is the FRF as per the industry. Next is timing. Timing means what's our reporting objective. So what is the timetable for reporting? That we will organize the meetings with the management to discuss the NTE of audit. In that meeting, we will discuss the type and timing of the report and the status of the audit, and we will also have discussions among the team members. Next, in terms of what do we say? Direction. We need to direct the engagement team efforts. Next, in terms of PR, that is considering the results of preliminary engagement activities. We need to see the results of the previous audit, whether deficiencies, whether any taken action were taken on the deficiencies or not. Next, we need to see the changes. Change in what, sir? Your industry developments, any changes in FRF or any other significant developments, or we can see volume of transactions as well. And lastly, that will help us to know the NTE of resources, and this is the benefit of your overall audit strategy. In terms of nature, the employment of the qualitative resources, which resources are to be deployed for specific audit areas. Next, T in terms of timing of deployment of resources, when these resources are to be deployed. And E in terms of extent of allocation of quantity of resources, amount of resources that need to be allocated to a specific audit area. And lastly, management, which means what, sir? How the resources will be managed, directed and supervised. Okay, yes sir. Next is what, sir? Next, we have to document the audit plan. I have told documenting audit plan. You hear audit plan and strategy, so we have to document both. We have to document audit plan and audit strategy. In strategy, we have to document the record of the key decisions that we have made in the audit, and in plan we have to record the NT of RAP and FAP that we have decided. And sir, whenever we do any significant changes in the audit and strategy during the audit, when we do, sir, we will discuss the reasons over here, but whenever we do any significant changes in the audit and strategy, we have to document the significant changes with the reason, and we have to also document the final version of the audit strategy and plan that we have adopted. Okay, yes sir, these all things need to be documented whenever the ICA asks a question in terms of documenting audit plan. Okay, yes sir. Next, what are the reasons when we can do changes in the planning during the audit, sir? Because of unexpected events. Suppose there was a demonetization. I was thinking to check a cash transaction, but now I know that there were no cash transaction, that there is changes in condition, there is no cash transaction, and the evidence that is obtained during the current year procedure. Suppose I was performing procedures on the cash transaction, and I got to know that there is no cash transaction in the entity. So now I'll have to change my planning, and I will have to check other procedures or other anything. And lastly, if there is an information which has come to my notice which differs significantly from the information which was available to me earlier when I planned my audit engagement, then I will have to change my planning. For example, suppose I thought that the revenue estimated previously was 1000 crore, but the actual revenue after deducting and correcting and uncorrecting everything, the actual revenue is 500 crore. So that is an information which significantly differ. So I will have to change my planning. Okay, yes sir. What are the 4 reasons? How will remember that? First of all, why we need to change planning? Because of an unexpected event. Because of an unexpected event, there were changes in the conditions, and the evidence obtained and the evidence which was obtained which differed significantly from the previous evidence, because of which I will have to change my planning. Okay, yes sir. Next is relationship between audit strategy and audit plan. What is the relationship, sir? First of all, as I told you, that audit strategy helps in the development of the audit plan. Audit strategy is prepared before the plan, and audit plan is more detailed and it describes how the strategy is going to be implemented, and both are closely interrelated. Changes in one will result in changes in other. Okay, yes sir. Next, audit strategy and audit plan is the responsibility of auditor. The auditor cannot ask the management to prepare the audit strategy and audit plan, but the auditor may may discuss the elements of planning, may discuss the audit strategy and plan with the management, but he should not compromise the effectiveness of the audit. Which means what, sir? If you want to discuss with the management, okay, I will be auditing this particular thing, I will be coming to you at this particular date so that to audit this particular thing, so that the management is prepared with all the evidences and there is no time wastage of yours and the management. So that you should definitely, here the word may is written, but here the implied meaning is should. So there was an MCQ which was asked by the ICA, and ICA told in that MCQ that the engagement partner didn't communicate anything with the management and directly went to the management's entity and asked for some evidences which management was not ready with. So is it correct? No, it is not correct. You should discuss the elements of planning with the management so that they can make arrangements for themselves, but it should not compromise effectiveness as well. Which means what, sir? You should not exactly tell them, okay, I will exactly check these all samples, so that if you tell them, they will all correct those samples and you will not be able to identify any misstatement. Okay, yes sir, this is the thing that is written over here. Let's discuss it from the concept book. We are talking about documenting audit plan, which is important. Changes to planning is also important. Relationship between strategy and plan is also important. And responsibility of auditor is also important. All four things are very important. So documenting audit plan, what we have to document, sir? I am saying plan, you here plan and strategy. So we have to document strategy, record of key decisions. We have to also document plan, record of planned entity and wrap. We also need to document any significant changes that has happened during the audit with the reasons and the plan and strategy finally adopted. And there was an MCQ that was asked by the ICA that we also need to document the audit program as well. Okay, yes sir, there is one MCQ that we have to do, one question that we have to do. This is our question bank. The way that you are looking from the to the question bank, it is the same way that we are providing the question bank to you in printed format. All the questions will be highlighted, all the answers will be highlighted. It is color coded question bank. All the sources will be mentioned in the green. All the concepts topic will be mentioned above the question so that you can go topic wise. So this is the question bank that you will get while if you order a printed version. So yes, here what the question says, sir, they are saying that the auditor does not even visit once the office of the company and he failed to understand the nature of the business of the company. The auditor didn't even care to understand the nature of the business of the company. There was nothing in his working paper that can show that he understood the nature of the business of the company. Now what does it reflect upon the planning of audit? In the planning of audit, while planning, did we discuss that we have to obtain understanding of the entity? Yes sir, we discussed that. So here he has violated SA 300, but ICA will not write the direct answer. ICA will pick up every point, each and every point that we have discussed and kindly correlate with all the points, and then ICA will write the answer. What ICA has written, sir? They have written that SA 300 requires the audit to plan, likewise to plan the audit in so that the audit is performed perfectly. Audit guides the development of the audit plan. The audit plan includes the entity of the procedures to be performed. We need to document the strategy, the plan, the significant changes, which is not very relevant, but yes, ICA has written it over here. So everything related to that particular topic, you should definitely write that in the answer. In the given situation, what has happened? They have written, and then they are saying that the working papers does not show any understanding of the nature of business. So in conclusion, we can say that the business was never understood by the auditor and the audit was not planned in an effective manner as per SA 300. So you have done a violation of SA 300. Okay, yes sir. Next, changes to planning decision. What are the conditions in which audit strategy and plan may need to be changed, sir? First of all, due to an unexpected event, there is a changes in condition or there is an evidence obtained which differs significantly from the earlier evidence. Okay, yes sir. Next, relationship between audit strategy and plan. Audit strategy is prepared before the audit plan. Audit plan contains more detail than the audit strategy and it describes how the strategy is going to be implemented. Audit strategy and plan are closely interrelated because one change can result to change in another. And lastly, audit strategy is providing the development of an audit plan. Now, overall audit strategy plan is responsibility of the auditor. Management is not responsible for preparing the audit strategy and plan. You may discuss the strategy with the management, but it should not compromise the effectiveness. Here also should word will come. Okay, yes sir. Last topic, look at over here. Last topic is your audit program. Audit program, what does the audit program say, sir? The audit program is saying that what is audit program? It is basically a list of verification procedures that you hand over to an article or your seniors so that they can perform the work as per the procedures. So it is help in allocating the work to the team members. Now, how we formulate audit programs, sir? First of all, we have a overall plan which we need to strictly adhere to. That we have created audit plan, we have already created. We need to strictly adhere to that plan while creating overall audit program. Next, we need to obtain information of the organization in terms of history and purpose. For creating the overall plan, we need to obtain information of the organization in terms of nature and size of the organization. Nature means what's the technical, financial, accounting. Size means what's that? If there is more size, then the audit plan will also be more complex. Now, after obtaining information about nature and size, we often need to obtain information about internal control system and accounting and management policy. Internal control system, whether it is complied and evaluated, and accounting management policy, whether what was the policies in past and whether they are consistently applied or not. These are the 6 points, and this way you can remember that. Overall plan, for creating overall plan, we need information. What informations are nature and size, and internal control system and management policies. Okay, yes sir. Now while actually drawing up the audit program, there are 3 stages or 3 steps of drawing audit program. First of all, we need to create a broad outline of the program. Now while drawing audit program, we need to identify the deficiencies in the internal control, and we need to perform special procedures on those deficiencies. Okay, yes sir, these are the 3 stages of drawing up the audit program. Now when the audit program need to be altered during the audit, while auditing, when I need to alter the audit program, sir, first of all, when the revenue has significantly increased from the previous revenue figure, or the asset has increased compared to the previous year. Next, the assets are misappropriated. There is a suspicion from me that the assets are misappropriated, so maybe I will need to alter the audit program. And lastly, when I consider that the internal controls are effective, but the internal controls turned out to be not as effective as I assumed initially, so I will have to alter my audit program so that I can increase the procedures. Okay, yes sir, these are the 4 situations, and how we can remember that? Either the revenue is increased or the assets is increased or decreased. How decreased, sir? Because it is misappropriated. Why misappropriated, sir? Because internal controls are not effective. Okay, yes sir. Next, revision in the audit program at each subsequent audit engagement. Now here, look at over here, alteration and sub-revision both has a difference. Alteration means what, sir? While you are auditing during the year, you are changing the audit program, that is called alteration. Revision is what, sir? I have used the audit program in the previous year, and now I'm using the audit program for the current year. So do I have to make changes in the audit program from previous year to current year? That is called revision. Okay, yes sir. Now what are the conditions in which we have to revise, sir? First of all, the experience that we have gained during the past audit, we need to revise. Next, what are the changes? If there is any changes in the business, suppose there is new segment loss, so we have to revise. Next, there is when we are evaluating the internal control for the current year, we may obtain new information, and for that we need to revise the audit program. So in all this situation, we may need to revise the audit program. So what are these, sir? First of all, the experience that we have gained to the previous audit, that is not relevant because there is a change in business, and since there is a change in business, we will need to perform a fresh evaluation of the internal control. Okay, yes sir. You might see in other books, you might see there is an example of program in terms of movie theater. What is the audit program? For plant and machinery, what will be the audit program? For raw material wastage, what will be the audit program? That is not very relevant, very important for you to be asked in exam. We are here to make you do less efforts and score more marks, so we are skipping this, and you can definitely safely skip this all topics. Okay, yes sir. Last is your audit execution stages. There are 4 stages of audit execution, that is ERTR. ERTR is basically what, sir? First is execution planning. We do planning. This is at stages of audit basically. First of all, we do planning, that is preliminary survey. Then we do risk and control evaluation, that is given in our SA 315. Then we do testing, that is given in SA 330 and all the essays. And lastly, we do reporting, that will be covered in your SA 700. This is our stages of execution: ERTR, planning, risk and control evaluation, testing and reporting. Okay, yes sir. Then we will ask you an MCQ as well. Just last discuss from our concept book what we have studied. So we have studied about audit program, that it helps us in allocating the work to the team member, and it contains a list of verification procedures. While formulating what we have to do, sir, first of all, we need to develop an audit plan. For developing an audit plan, we need to have information of the organization. In terms of information, we should know the nature and size of the organization and the internal control system and accounting management policies. While drawing up the audit program, there are 3 stages. First of all, we have to draw an outline, and then we have to identify the deficiencies in internal control and perform special procedures on the deficiencies. Next, what is important, sir? Here the 2 points are important: alteration and revision. Audit program is altered during the year because of what? Either the revenue is increased significantly, or the assets are increased significantly, or the assets are decreased because they are misappropriated. Why misappropriated? Because the internal control is not very effective. Next, in terms of revision, sir, when we have to revise, either based on the experience from the previous audit, it is not relevant because there was change in the business, and for change in the business, we have to evaluate the internal controls for the current year. In terms of audit execution, it is ERTR, that is execution planning, risk and control evaluation, testing and then reporting. And lastly, there are 3 MCQs that were asked by the ICI. I will have to make you understand these 3 MCQs. The first is what? Every question is included in your concept book itself. So first MCQ was, suppose you are changing the engagement team in the same firm, the engagement team has changed. So in the current year, there is a new engagement team. In the previous year, there was a previous year, obviously a different engagement team. So the current year engagement team should consult with the previous year engagement team for planning the audit, because they know the matters better. Second is what, sir? When we are checking the compliance with the ethical requirements, with the integrity of promoters, then we are doing it. Obviously, it is covered in your SA 220, but it is also covered in your PA, that is preliminary engagement activities as per SA 300, because in 300 we told you SA 220 acceptance and continuance, in which integrity is covered, and ethical requirements, here it is. So these two things are covered in 300 and SA 220 as well. That's what was asked in your MCQ. Next, the procedures. If you're planning any procedures to identify the significant risk in inventory valuation. Now tell me, procedures are covered under your audit strategy or audit plan? Audit plan. So it is a part of audit plan, not your audit strategy. Okay, yes sir, let's do an MCQ, and you have to answer me in the comment box. Whoever give the answer correctly with an explanation, I will give a heart so that the students understand this is the correct answer. So the question is, PQR was appointed as statutory auditor of this particular entity, and during the planning stage, the engagement partner and audit team took various activities under SS 300, and these matters were noted. You have to identify which has complied with the SS 300 and which is a non-compliance as per SS 300. First is, during the initial planning phase, engagement partner decided not to involve any key members of the engagement team during the planning, because they thought that planning was primarily a responsibility of senior personnel and detailed instructions will be given to them later. So we did not involve them in planning. First is this, compliance or non-compliance, you have to tell me. Second, the auditor established an overall audit strategy and a detailed audit plan based on the information that was available at the commencement of the audit. Now, during the audit, significant changes have occurred in the business operations, resulting in new risks. Now, the auditor revised the audit procedures, but it did not update the documented audit strategy or plan. Compliance or non-compliance, you have to tell me. Before performing detailed audit procedures, the engagement partner was holding discussions with the key engagement team members regarding the expected scope of work, the timing of the procedures, and areas where professional skepticism we need to keep. So whether it is a compliance or non-compliance. Next, the auditor completed substantial planning activities. This is very important. Substantial planning activities were completed before the predecessor auditor responded to professional communication. In the professional ethics, we will discuss that we have to communicate with the previous auditor, and also we need to obtain clarification on the prior year issues. So before obtaining that communication, before obtaining certain information regarding the prior year issues, the auditor completed substantial planning activities, believing that audit planning should commence as early as possible. Now, is it a compliance or non-compliance? You will have to look it over here and you will have to answer this. And if you are not knowing the answer with the explanation is given in the pinned comment, so you can check the pinned comment for the correct answer. And if you have watched till last, please like the video. I hope you will definitely help me to complete the like target of 100 likes. And do comment down, we will become chartered accountants, so that I know that you have watched till last. And please do share your feedback. That will definitely motivate me to push harder, to put more revision videos and more resources for you guys in CA Final Audit. Lastly, I will just take 2 minutes of yours and I will just brief you about all the resources. If you have watched till last, then please do watch 2 minutes more. So here are all free resources for CA Final Audit that will be updating this particular list, and these are all the free resources. Make sure you're not leaving out, skipping any of the resources that we have mentioned here, and direct link is provided to all the videos, all the YouTube channel and Telegram channel videos and everything, all the material. For specifically English, we have also posted the new case scenario booklet in English that you can definitely watch. In terms of other resources, we currently have an exam oriented batch of 45 hours. We will be posting more batches for English soon. Next, concept book we have already seen. In question bank, one more unique thing we have done, we have segregated the question bank in part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is all the interpretation and analytical tricky questions, and part 2 is all your direct questions which you can definitely skip so that your time is reduced. Handwritten notes that you have seen, we have provided the PDF in Telegram channel. We will be providing it in printed version, colorful format very soon. Test series, we have all subjects test series for CA Final. Cumulative test series, 30% syllabus will be revised 3 times, 70% 2 times, and 100% 1 time. Full syllabus test series, 4 full syllabus test series we have. 10 days challenge. Each subject can be completed in 10 days with 5 tests in the 10 days challenge. You will definitely get good motivation, good confidence after completing this 10 days challenge. Detailed evaluation feedback is given by CAs for overall question, for overall answer sheet and each question, and ISA level paper pattern is mentioned, is followed. Comparative analysis is mentioned on your test series website dashboard itself. You will get to see question by question which topic was it, which chapter was it, your marks, average marks, topper marks, top 10 percentile marks, top 25 percentile marks. That will be shown in your test series dashboard itself. You can click over here and look at it over here. Next, if you want one friend come guide, come mentor who is there for you to emotionally support you till the exams, to make planner for you, to guide you, to keep you in discipline, to make pressure on you, to be there with you till the exams, then we have a one-on-one mentorship program for you which has 62 passing percentage in January 26, which was tough attempt of ICI. You can click over here and get all the details. If you want to win cash prizes of to 1,20,000 per student, which is just an initiative to motivate you to push harder for yourself. So this is the link over here. You can definitely click it, and this link is given in your pinned comment as well. And if you, after your CA exams, we are there to you to make your career as well in terms of resume, LinkedIn, guidance, mock interview. Everything will be given in your Career Navigator program. And lastly, when you become a chartered accountant, I will celebrate with you. I will felicitate you in our felicitation fiesta the glimpse can be found over here. This is my number 9023725601. You can definitely WhatsApp me for any of the queries. And sir, I am there for your audit is my responsibility. And AFM, soon we are going to post more English videos for AFM as well. So do check out Nikhil sir as well. And lastly, sir, after this, you can definitely practice any of the question of SA 300 and you will definitely love solving that particular question. Important topic that I have marked are general and attempt wise specific most expected topics. We will definitely mark you soon before your attempt. And lastly, I will just like to say, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail, which means what, sir? If you have still not made any planner related, any strategy related to your CA final studies, and I will definitely recommend you, request you to please make a planner so that you are able to follow. Even if you are not able to follow, you get a direction on where you have to work and how much you have to work. So if you are promising me that you will make a planner and you will follow that planner, then please comment down. I will become chartered accountant. And yes, this time we will score exemption in audit. Please keep me in your prayers. Thank you. Bye bye.